War Games came about because Derek Sherwin came into the script editor, came into my office and said, "Terrance, we need a 10-part Doctor Who. You've got to write it, and we need it in a fortnight." Which was more or less, it's a slight exaggeration, but not much. It was pretty much like that. So I got in, I called him Mac Holt, because I knew I'd never do it in the time by myself. I mean, it wasn't 2 weeks, but the time was very, very short, And we wrote the War Games together in 10 episodes.
And you, if I may, you were slightly disparaging about it a little while back, but I think it's terrific.
Well, yeah, no, I've been disparaging about it for years and years. I developed a kind of throwaway line, at conventions and things. I said, well, it opens well. I mean, you've got you've got First World War, then a Roman chariot comes out the mist, and I think the last few scenes where the Doctor's on trial by the Time Lords, I think that's good. But in between, it's a lot of running up and down corridors and captures and escapes and things, which is actually largely true.
But it doesn't feel like that. As a viewer, it doesn't feel like that.
The thing is, it came out, it was brought out again, in a, what do they say, refurbished, something?
Remastered.
Yeah, in a remastered edition, And the Doctor Who magazine reviewed it at great length, And the review started off, "Terrance has been talking rubbish about this show for years." And I was highly delighted, because it was a very favourable review. And lots of people have come up and told me they really like it, it's their favourite show. So, at the time, a 10-part Doctor Who is nonsense, it's ridiculous. And all I thought at the time was, oh, thank God we got away with it, we actually got a show out of sorts, But, no, I've always been very pleased about its new status, as it were.
And so you're saying about the show was in chaos when you came on board with it. You turned it around and took it to new heights. How did that happen?
Well, I just wanted to sort things out. The main problem always, or almost with any show, is scripts. And people don't realise how difficult it is, to get a good set of scripts in. And, I once went to a big BBC meeting, chaired by Hugh Weldon, I think, in those days, in which they were discussing the fact that a lot of BBC shows were coming in over time and over budget, with big overspends. And what was the cause of it? And what the cause of it was, they got to in the end, was late scripts. Everything stemmed from that, you see, because at a certain time, in those days, a director joined with a team of people, and he got a limited time to do a very difficult show. If you've got no scripts to give him, he can't do anything, so his limited time, he's dribbling away. Barry Letts directed, before he was producer, Barry Letts directed that one in which Patrick Troughton has a double. What is it?
Enemy of the World.
Enemy of the World, yeah. And he said when he arrived, they handed him one script, and that wasn't any good, So, my main thing became, the motto was good scripts in on time. And the secret of that is to pick your writer as early as you can. And what we used to do was get the writer in, talk to him generally, take him out to lunch, talk to him, see what kind of, and we would also have ideas of what kind of show we wanted. And we discuss that with him and give him an idea of the sort of thing we wanted. And then he'd go away and write a storyline. But you see, he wasn't doing it as it were on spec. What Bryant and Sherwin used to do is say, we need some ideas for Doctor Who. And no more. So they'd send ideas in, they'd say, no, we don't like that. They never had any scripts. But if he's writing something where he knows, he's more or less on the right lines, and you just nurse him through it, allowing for the fact that writers are devious, lying, treacherous bastards, as I know full well from having been one, I used to say, don't try any of the excuses on me, I've used them all myself over the years.
How do you look back on your time in Doctor Who now? How do you feel about it? What does it?
I don't look back on it.
I mean, on days like this, on days like this, when
on days like this, you know, the memories come back because you're asking the questions, and you know, it was. What I do feel, you know, is that my life has been incredibly lucky, totally unplanned. You know, I mean, if I hadn't rented a room in Max Holt's house, I never got to know Mac, and I would certainly have taken much longer to get into television because he was, as I say, he was like my mentor. If I hadn't got onto Crossroads and met Derek Sherwin, I never got onto Who. You know, it's all luck, pure luck. And I just feel I was very fortunate. And you know, the fact that I'm here, that we're talking, you know, and I joined you in '68. You know, is just shows what an influence it's been.